I'm vlogging! Okay. I'm gonna be talking about the Portland Night Market. It's a local market of mine. It's only 2 days, and it was from 4 to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. And let's just say, I made the sales. I made good money, I ate good food, but I also threw up. I've never made like a mini vlog like this before. I'm used to doing like maybe 15 to 30 minute videos. I don't think it's gonna be that long. We'll see how it goes. But I'm also not used to voice-overing this entire thing. So we'll see if I can compile videos correctly with the night market and my voice and blah 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 and YouTube stuff. It was $300, which means it was $150 a day. Not bad, but it's definitely not cheap if you're in the Portland area and want to start out with markets. So when I got there, I realized with a little bit of nervousness that my booth was tucked in the corner of this back area. There was basically a bunch of rows where people could go through with very tall and open ceilings, but there was also this corner, this almost U-turn, so to speak, that was completely covered in like a shorter ceiling, and there was also less lighting around there. My husband was very excited because I signed up for a 6x6 space, and I feel like I got an 8x8 or more space. So for me, I was like, oh my god, I have too much room, what am I gonna do? And then my husband was like, this is great, we can do more stuff, we can bring in synthetic grass, it's gonna be great. Setup was also very easy, and it was really nice and accessible with the way that they were talking to me and even bringing me tables, because I started getting used to Comic Cons, anime cons, and how they would usually have your own 6 foot, 8 foot, 10 foot space with tables included and 2 chairs, whereas this local market did not have any of that, and it was just a blank space. However, luckily, I asked the coordinator, who was super sweet, and she gave me a 6 foot and 4 foot table, so I was able to use that and not have to bring my own, because even at home I only have a 6 foot table, so that wouldn't have been enough for the space that I was given. Also very slow with setups, so it took me a total of basically day 0 and day 1 to fully set up, and that wasn't even solo. Like, my husband was helping me again, and I think I was just a little bit stressed about the space that I couldn't fully think, so he kind of went all hands on deck and he made the space look very welcoming, so I give most of the credit to him, honestly. Getting into the day for Friday, which is the first day, I will say that from like maybe 4 to 7 p.m. it was pretty slow. Sales were pretty slow because people, I'm guessing, are still at work, they're starting to trickle in, or maybe people are waiting to party on Saturday. Here's where the issue comes in for me, okay? And this is nothing to do with the event itself or the coordinator, but because there were so many people, and it didn't matter, even if it in my space, like everywhere within that building, there was very poor ventilation because of how packed it was, and because of that, I started getting nauseous very, very quickly. End of day 1, which was on Friday, I ended up throwing up in the car. I had such a pulsing headache, like a migraine, because of how stuffy I felt. For the fact that the event ends at 11 p.m. and I'm someone that's used to getting ready for bed at around 9 and sleeping at 10, I felt extremely exhausted, and I don't think I was ready for that part. If you're a night owl, then this event's gonna be great for you, because other people around me, they were doing fine. Some were also sleepy like me, which is understandable, but me personally, it took a toll on me. Like, just that alone, if it wasn't late, obviously Portland Night Market, it's in the name, but if it wasn't that late, I would totally like not hesitate on wanting to do it again. So the demographic was like young teens to just late night wanderers that wanted to just drink and kind of explore the festivities, which is great, but also that means that you'll have more onlookers, I feel, at least for my niche and like the cutesy things, rather than people wanting to purchase. There was definitely moments when, kids would come over and they felt comfy in my space because I had my fake grass sitting out, and they felt welcomed and wanting to touch things and look around. And there was also some drunk girlies too that were feeling like overwhelmed with how packed and hot it was inside, that they sat down on the grass next to me because I was also exhausted and sitting on the grass, and we all just like talked for like 15 minutes, and it was great, and we were all just unpacking the situation we were all in. My husband was also with me for all day on Friday, and then I did solo Saturday, which I was a little nervous about because of how badly I took Friday and how nauseated I felt. So what I did for Saturday is I made sure to purchase food beforehand. I got myself a little Korean corn dog, so that got me started with the calories, because apparently yapping is gonna take it out of you. Like, bully yapping most of the time there from 4 to 11. And also for the fact that I can't really hide behind my setup. I'm basically sitting in the middle with a chair, which is great for interactions for people, but that also means that my social battery was gonna die very, very quickly, and it usually does because I'm more of an introvert. I don't know if it sounds extreme or not, but I was basically snacking the entire day Saturday. I was either snacking, drinking my vitamin C water, I was just snacking the whole time. Just mean like junk either. Like, yeah, I had some like potato chips, but my husband packed me steak, and then I had the Korean corn dog, yes, a little bit of grease, but then I also had fruits, bananas, granola bars, and I just continuously, slowly munched on that for the duration of the time. And I noticed that I wasn't as nauseous on Saturday. Yes, I was still a little dizzy, basically when packing up and at the end of the event, to the point where I had to like go outside and get some fresh air, because I didn't realize how bad it was until I stepped outside and went back inside. I was like, oh, I thought this was just a me problem. Nope, it's the whole building. To if I would do it again. Actually, yes, I am going to be going back in May, but I would absolutely not recommend it to anyone that is going in the summer and also feels fatigue like I do and not used to being in cramped areas or being out like too late in the night. But if that's your party movement and that's what you're used to, then go ahead. I made a total of about $1,755 in sales, and then taking away from the table, which is $300, then I made a total of $1,455. So curious for those that actually live in the Pacific Northwest or live close by Portland, if you've attended this event before, whether you be just an attendee or a vendor, what you thought of it. Did you have a similar experience to me? Did you have a better? Did you have a worse experience? I wanna know. And I'm really excited for SakuraCon because I'll basically be having an Airbnb sleepover with other girlies, and I'm doing my first ribbon rally. Almost forgot to announce that I have a Discord now. I have a Sproutling community Discord for artists that want to go into Comic Cons, artist alleys, or even just local markets and starting out their business. I have it in my Instagram bio. You can fill out the Google Doc and then I can add you and it'll be fun. We have almost like 50 to 60 people, which makes me really happy because I just opened this like a week and a half ago. That is it for now. That is my mini vlog. Hopefully it's actually a mini vlog length, and I will see you guys for SakuraCon. Bye bye!